Well, congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Defensive Player of the Month, just thoughts on being able to have an award, even though it's an early in the season award, but still just for what you've done.
I mean, no matter what you do, it's always a great honor to get recognized by your accomplishments. But even though, you just understand more months, more goals, we're working towards something bigger. So, obviously sit back, reflect, appreciate this month about the work from the teammates, everyone who's invested into this. But now it's just like kind of move on. Now we're in November, and it's like this is going to be one of our biggest months in terms of teams, championship caliber, and going to where we want to go.
We had one of our listeners or fans say, "You did it in a month when they had a bye week." How about that?
Yeah, that was impressive. I was like, damn, did we? I even looked back and said, what games did we play? Like, it kind of threw me off too. Like, I was a little bit in shock, but we just ready. I just feel like I'm really getting into a groove and rhythm right now, and I'm excited to go play again.
Did you look at Aaron's house after he told you to buy it?
I looked at it actually like a month or so ago. I talked about it, and Tuck said he might try to look at it, and I said, it's a nice house. Like, don't get me wrong. But it's just me right now. That's why I'm just not, like, in the urge to buy anything. Like, it's just me.
Like you said, you feel like you're getting into a groove. Why do you think that is, and what do you think that leads to?
I just think the team is understanding how I play. Coach Halfley, my rushers, we understand the talent we have and situations, and we're just coming together as a cohesive unit. Like before, it was just like, let's see what Uno can do. Let's and then now it's kind of like the standard's been set in the room, and we just talked about the standard last couple of weeks today, and how we just hone in on it. And what that means more stuff's coming in. We're only going to get better because now we're like, all right, this is how they're going to play. We're going to adjust to this. Like, so many things is coming in. And we're glad that team is showing us, how they're going to approach me, how they're going to approach the team early on, because now we can plan for almost everything. And we have a plan for almost everything. So it's always exciting to see what new challenges we face. But, early challenges means later success because we've seen these looks before. We've seen how they're going to attack us. And now we kind of know how to adjust or what to get into.
Micah, you're giving other teams a lot of different looks, like in Pittsburgh lining up behind the D-line and then coming around from the middle. Mm-hmm. What type of a bind does it put opponents in when you're able to do a lot of stuff, and how much fun is it to have different stuff each week?
Yeah, it's fun, and that's why I say, like, there's not too many rushers that understand systems. And, like I said, I've been extremely blessed because I've been around some really great coaches, from Coach Edwards, my rookie year. He used to make me sit in after work and watch film extra hours about reading slides and protections and how teams are going to manipulate. How they start is how they're going to end. They just don't want to – they're going to try to confuse you. To Coach Zim, to teach me about protections even more, to the greater magnitude of with the six-man double Mabel and all that other stuff. And when you understand how teams are going to protect and how they're going to come out, one thing that we have to our advantage is they have to communicate. They're in their game plan, they're like, where's number one in lining? If he's outside, we can motion. But when I go inside, it's like, now which way can he go? Is he going right? Is he going left? And I can dictate that because I know where it's going, how they're going to try to approach me. They want two people on me. And if they're going to do that, guess what? Other guys are going to come free. Other guys are going to be one-on-one. And if they don't, that means I'm going to be one-on-one. So, when you kind of understand the game at a really high level and you can manipulate the game the way you want to, you can really have a lot of fun and a lot of success. And we've been having a lot of success with it. When it comes to Bengals, we had success with it. Last week we had success with it. And now we're just adding to that toolbox about how much more success we can have with it. So it's going to be where it's going to end, and this is just the beginning because we just started doing it, it's going to be really fun.
Are your teammates getting a better idea of what you're going to do in those situations?
Yeah, and that comes with it. And we're communicating in practice. Hey, I want to try to do this look. Like, even practice today, I'm going up to KB and I'm like, hey, look, we're going to get the full slide this way. I want to try this game to this to see how it looks out, see how it looks, how it's going to plan out. Are they going to poker? Are they going to full slide it? Even, if Quay's down, if Quay's on the line, are they going full 5-man slide or just 4-man slide? So we're getting all different type of looks. And we're reacting to them, and that comes with practice. Like, we've been able to actually practice together and learn from each other, not just in games. So we're just getting more advanced, and it's a good thing when everyone's knowledgeable, when everyone's coming to work to learn, and everyone knows when their opportunity is going to be there.
Hey, Mike, as someone that's worn the green not, what have you thought of just what Quay has done? This
Yeah.
kind of partnership you guys have kind of been able to build here.
Yeah.
in the network?
Yeah, Quay's my guy. You know, he's a fun guy, quiet guy. But when I tell you, he accepts every challenge in the most graceful way, and he just puts his head down and work. It's actually great because, you know, I was telling some of my friends in the group chat, I was like, I kind of see why teams draft guys from Georgia and Bama. And, you know, I would say for just a week, kind of like when we started hanging out more, I just watched him like the whole week. And we're sitting next to each other in lockers, and I'm talking about like throughout his whole week of how he practices and how he plays and how he's always into his film. Like even pregame, I'm sitting next to him, I'm listening to tunes, and he's looking through his play call sheet. Just like the details, his mannerisms, how he approaches the game, it doesn't surprise me with the success he has. And I'm excited to see what he does, you know, for here and even in the future.
Micah,
3 of your sacks this year have been in the fourth quarter, at least 3 of them. Is there something about how you read things in the second half of the game that, and I know sacks aren't everything, but is there something to that?
Well, yeah, you got to look at it, and I mean, we watched the film. I think a lot of teams are coming out and they're trying to play safe, but you know, with the offense we have, when these guys are putting up points, they can't play safe anymore. They can't keep checking the ball down. They have to go for the explosive plays. They have to kind of reach a little bit more, and we're able to come alive. I mean, I think if you look at our games, we have some of the fastest thrown out balls, like 2.3 seconds with Flacco and 2.5, and I mean, that's almost like catch and throw, you know, especially for a lot of us. And if we could get them to the 3.0 to 2.89, we have such a better chance to get into the quarterback. And I just think, you know, when we're in those situations, I have a better chance. And some of them's coming away when they get away from the chipping and the full slide turns and things like that. You know, that also helps.
It looks like Bryce Young's going to be back at quarterback for them after missing last game. What do you have to be aware of with him, and what do you guys got to do up front to try to throw him off balance? Yeah,
we got to get in the QB lanes. We got to make it as hard as possible for him. I have a good history with Bryce, and I understand he's an elite competitor. He's one of them Bama guys. You know, I know how he prepares, and I know how he's going to come in and try to exploit our team, and we just got to stay on boat. We got to have all hands on boat and take this game as serious as possible. Because when he's on, he's on. And you know, we don't want to see that happen, so we got to get after the quarterback. But most importantly, we got to stop the run.
When he's on, what does he do well?
I just think he makes his throws. I just think, you know, when he's feeling confident that these guys is blocking for him, like, we got to get him to the point he's looking at his O-line. Like, we got to get him from instead of looking downfield to looking in front of him. And then, I mean, you can make any quarterback do that. You know, you have a good chance. Like, I think there was a clip, you know, when he was playing the Commanders, Jaden Daniels was looking back at me like, is he coming through? Did he break through? And I think, you know, those type of things changes the game. Like, when he's constantly like, oh, my God, like, I keep getting hit. They're getting back here. Like, those is things that throws a quarterback off. There's impossible for him to look at his second read or his first read if he's worrying about the front. So that's how we got to affect him and get after him.
Mike, in your first week here, you talked about how you've never not played with a Pro Bowl or All-Pro corner. The interceptions haven't come yet. Do you expect that? What do you think of your corners and their potential to capitalize as the second half of the season?
Yeah, I mean, they're coming. I mean, interceptions aren't everything. I mean, how many corners you seen go All-Pro and had 2 interceptions? It's about coverage. I mean, these guys are playing tight coverage. I think, you know, they're playing really good, and I think they're even going up another notch. I think even they're not used to the ball coming out so fast, you know, and they're kind of playing a little bit more softer. But as more confidence and the rush ties in with the coverage, it's been getting better. I mean, some of those quick throws against Steelers they're right there. They're hitting them as they're catching the ball. So that lets you know the confidence they're getting into the rush. And I think the more we get into it, the more we keep catching these leads, them interceptions are going to come.
Michael, what has been the key to the run defense for you guys and how you've had so much success throughout this?
Just the mentality. We understand we got to earn the right to pass rush, and that's all what we want to do. We want to pass rush, but we got to earn it. And it starts off first, second down, and then it's also just the guys earning their roles. Like Kobe, you know, it starts with him. You know, we call him the general. Like, he owns his role. He understands. He stops the run. Like, he comes in, he's like, I'm going to go do what you do. You know what I mean? Like, we got guys that own their role. KB, he does a little bit of both. DY, a little bit of both. And then when it's time to rush, we all rush. But those guys own their roles. They know they got to stop the run. They do it with a badge of honor. And when you got guys like that on the inside, get a lot of good things can happen.
Mike, I don't know how much you've seen of your old team, but what do you think the Royal Cowboys are playing on defense right now?
It's tough because obviously it's a defensive game, but I do see a lot of good things. There's flashes. It's just all about consistency in this league. Same with us. Like, you'll see a bunch of good things, and then we do a bunch of bad things. And I just think you got to limit the bad things. And that's a everyone thing. But I see some of our players playing really good. Some of my brothers, Osa's playing well. Don's really stepping up. I've been watching his film. I've been talking to him. So it's just all about that, just putting everything together. And then just dialing on your technique. That's all football is. It's just fundamentals and technique and who's going to play it better.
What's allowed Dowdle to have the season that he's had? And when you guys look at that other side, what's not the game plan, but how do you stop some of the dynamics?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that from him last year. We played 11 games and went over 1,000. This is the first chance a team actually wants to run the ball. I mean, he used to average 4 or 5 yards a carry in Dallas. We just didn't give it to him. It says a lot. Like, I mean, it's not a surprise the year he's having. He runs hard. He's running with passion. What we got to do is just make sure he don't keep falling forward. That's his biggest thing. He falls forward. We got to get everyone to push back, get him falling back, and we can win this game.
Mike, you as one of the great pass rushers in the league, and it's Packers week. Did you watch much Julius Peppers when you were younger? And what do you think of him?
JP. I mean, obviously he's a freak. I mean, he's one of the best Hall of Famers, one of the GOATs. That's kind of who I'm trying to get Van Ness to turn into, with those freakish long arms and his power and what he did. Julius, he's one of the great ones, and if you can get anybody to play the way he did, we're gonna have a lot of success.
Micah, you played for a couple defensive coordinators who have also been head coaches in DQ and Zimmer. What has it been like playing for Hafley? What have you learned about him? Could you see maybe that being in his future whenever that day may be for him?
Yeah, I do see it in his future. I think he's a very player-first coach. Same with Zim and same with Q. I think I don't want it to happen sooner or later, but it probably will. You know how this league goes, but I mean, he's just a hell of a coach. And one thing I like is that we communicate on such a high level. When I say I want something to go in, he puts it in. He finds a way to adjust, and usually he's not just telling me to fit in the system. He understands how good we are and what we can be and our attributes and what we can offer, and he puts it in. It's not like he just makes the adjustments that you need as a player and doesn't put guys in position. He puts us in a position to win and not for his own self-esteem. Hey, this is my defense. He's opened it up night and day since I've been here. And I love it and the guys love it.
When you hear
Two more for Micah.
Trap game, what do you think? Obviously, Cleveland came right before Dallas. You said you weren't looking ahead. Philly's next week. When you hear trap game, what do you think?
I mean, either way, I think both of these matches is kind of back and forth. I mean, we played when the Browns week 2, week 3? 3. I mean, they were coming off very close losses. It wasn't like they were getting blown out. This Panthers team the same way. They're 4-4. So I really want to consider them a trap team, and they beat the explosive offense of Dallas that we didn't beat. They beat, what was it, the Bucks or the Falcons?
Yeah.
Falcons. So, I mean, this team is a very good team. I wouldn't consider this a trap game, even with Philly next week. This is just all about us and how we prepare. And just we can't beat ourselves. The 2 games we tied and lost, we beat ourselves. We missed at the end of the game, and we just didn't play good enough defensively against Dallas. So those are all things we can look forward to do this week is play good on defense for 4 quarters.
Mike, do you pay attention to injury reports at all? They have a bunch of injured offensive linemen. I'm wondering if it matters to you, or you're just going to beat whoever's.
Yeah, it don't matter. Line them up.